Kyle Juszczyk, this was the most interesting of the day. He actually started almost crying in his press conference today. Someone asked him, do you think you're going to be coming back? The salary cap's going down. And he choked up a little bit and was like, I really don't know. It seems I just don't know. I feel like I have brothers here and this and that, but I've never seen a player do something like that. Clearly, it was genuine and he wants to be here. And I think he's thinking that he probably won't be. When asked, John Lynch said basically, we'd love to keep him. We'll do everything in our power to keep him, which means we'll offer him the little we can offer him and he'll get more money elsewhere. That's how I read it. What do you think?
Yeah. So I read him the same way I read Emmanuel Sanders from last year. Priority. We love the guy. He means so much to our organization and everything. But we have so many other guys up the totem pole, and we're just going to offer him whatever's left. We're going to make an offer because we like him that much, but we're not going to make him our first offer. And I actually don't think he's that important. When he came in 2017, the Niners didn't have a lot of players with a lot of versatility. So that means he was the one guy that could do a lot of different things to make their offense unique and creative, and Kyle used him to move the ball. Now, if the Niners offense plays 50 snaps, he's playing 23 snaps, okay? You can't overpay for a fullback that's playing 23 snaps a game. It's just not prudent given who else they have to pay. And number two, I think if Jalen Hurd comes back, you get one more year of Ross Dwelly, maybe you get Jordan Reed for cheap, and you have a healthy Kittle between Debo. That's 5 different guys I think that can do a lot of different things within your offense and can be moved around, and they can approximate Kyle Juszczyk's value in different spots. Now, Kyle Juszczyk is a fantastic teammate. He's a fantastic player. He's really smart. He's represented the 49ers well for this long. But I also think one of the Shanahan copycats, or if Mike McDaniel goes with Robert Saleh or Mike LaFleur, it would be great for them to bring him in because they wouldn't have the versatility that the current 49ers offense has. So I think it's actually in the best interest of both the 49ers and Kyle Juszczyk to actually move on in different directions. I think Kyle Juszczyk can get one more big payday because even if those two don't take him, I think some of the Shanahan guys who look up to him, whether it's a Stefanski, whether it's a Matt LaFleur, whether it's a McVay, whether it's an Arthur Smith, guys who run a similar scheme and
Greg Roman
up to Kyle,
Greg Roman,
right? They can bring him in, and they would be able to start doing some of the things Kyle does with him. So they could do that, and the Niners have guys that can do similar things. Like I look at Jalen Hurd. He's a guy I really like, and I think if they can get a healthy Jalen Hurd, with how ferocious and how willing he is to block, how big he is, how athletic he is, how well he moves, I think he could be Kyle Juszczyk plus. So I don't see Kyle Juszczyk as being an as important priority as everyone makes him out to be.
Well, here's the thing. The way I look at it is he's a hell of a player, and he should go get what he's worth, and he's not going to get it from the 49ers. Whatever he gets on the free agent market, good for you, Kyle. You deserved it. From the Niners' perspective, they don't use him enough to justify what they pay him. I'm cool with his contract. I think he is an offensive weapon. I think he is worth that much. But you got to give him the ball more than like twice a game. You got to play him for more than like 40% of your snaps. He needs to be a guy who, when he's not in the backfield, he's in the slot, or you have a plan for him and you have a role for him in the offense more than just motioning and blocking and the occasional catch down the field or whatever.
Because the problem is, the Niners have to play from ahead for Kyle Juszczyk to be useful. If he, in theory, he highlights what Kyle Shanahan is looking to do: run the ball, marry the run and the pass, play action, have everything look the same, create wide open windows to throw the ball in. You can do all these things when you're winning 14-0. You're winning 21-10. Once you go down 14-0, you can't have a fullback in there be running 21 personnel from the I formation and play action. You're down 21-0. Who's going to bite on the play action? So those type of things, and I think that's why his snap count got really reduced this year, because as soon as they go down, they go to 11 personnel and bring the third receiver on the field. And I'm not sure that they're going to be in a 2019 situation again, where and even then he got hurt, but where they can have him on the field constantly and stuff. So I think he is a great player. He just doesn't play a premium position. He's really good at what he does. He's going to be a really good player in person for somewhere else, but he cannot be on the top of the 49ers list of priorities. It's got to start with Trent Williams. It's got to start with Verrett. To me, he is replaceable given who the 49ers have right now on their roster.
There's one more factor here too, Vish. The way I look at the Niners and also like the McVay, the Rams, and all these Shanahan disciples is their offense is evolving. a couple of years ago, Shanahan was a 21 personnel offense and McVay was an 11 personnel offense. Well, McVay is no longer an 11 personnel offense. He is now a 2 tight end offense. He's been trying to figure out for about 2 years how to beat what Bill Belichick showed the world how to defend his run game. He figured it out. It's with multiple tight ends,
right,
and spreading the surface of that 5-6 man defensive front and working from there. It works for him. And if you go back, the Rams played the Patriots like 3-4 weeks ago and just gouged them.
Yeah,
with
Cam Akers ran berserk. Yeah,
and it was mostly the 2 tight end stuff. And
right.
What they do is basically the same stuff the Niners do. The Niners this year, Juszczyk was a lot flexed out in that H-back position, running those jet sweep blocks. Really, the Niners and Rams run game looks kind of identical right now, just out of like different formations. And if that's how the Niners and the Rams want to do their run game from now on, then it makes sense to really be more invested in tight ends who can play a little bit of fullback than a fullback who can play a little bit of tight end, because Juszczyk is big enough to do that.
Right. And Charlie Warner is another guy. They drafted him in the 6th round. They're supposed to be really high on his blocking. I thought he was just a freak in Georgia. He was plowing people. I didn't really see that in his first year so far, but you can't write him off after 1 year. They clearly drafted him with an intention. They kept him on this roster with 4 tight ends because they had a kind of idea, and they had a thought process on how they wanted to use him. And as maybe he was thought of as their possible Juszczyk replacement, I think he can do a lot of similar things, especially based on what I saw him do in college. So while Kyle Juszczyk is this great player, and while I think he should get a big contract somewhere because he's worth that kind of money, I just don't see, like, when the 49ers have so many different guys that can do so many different things that approximate him in so many different areas, I just don't see him being on the list of priorities.
Yeah, Charlie Warner didn't play that much this season, but when he did play, a few times he would motion into the backfield and play fullback.
Right.
So that's exactly what the Rams are doing right now with Gerald Everett. They'll play Everett and Higbee, and then Everett will be the one occasionally who will motion the backfield and play fullback. I think that's kind of what the Niners want to do too. I don't think they want to be a 21 personnel team with the fullback all the time. I think they feel they can do more with the 2 tight end look and use a guy like Werner in the backfield here and there. So maybe I'm wrong, but that's what the Rams are doing, and it seems that's what the Niners are doing too.
Well, if they lose Juszczyk, they're going to have to adapt some way, and that would be one adaptation for them.